so all through it, I lost like my spot. I was like, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
Don't know where I am. All right, cool. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I was saying, am I playing the wrong chord? Okay, you had it that time. Okay, so. Well, so long as we share who makes the mistake, it's all right.
Yeah. It's all good.
All
oh,
right.
wow. So we start in 5. Nice.
All right.
All
And
right.
then we have.
Oh, yeah, I don't see. Oh, wow.
Am Yisrael Chai. O Davinu Chai, O Davinu Chai,
Hi!
O Davinu, O Davinu, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu, O Davinu, O Davinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. O Davinu Chai, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu, O Davinu, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu Chai, O Davinu, O Davinu, O Davinu.
Sure.
We got our lead singer back over there.
Where are you up there?
Okay.
Get them out of my pocket. Keys in my pocket.
Sunshine in my pocket.
Slam 'em. This is shusharoo. Oh, we shushed. Yes.
I wish we could hear each other.
I
We
know.
could hear each other more. Is that it? Oda Vinu, Oda Vinu. Oh, that's a different. Okay, never mind. I was looking for that. What are the chords to that too? I should probably learn it.
Oh, it's in the book. You have the book. It's page 15
Okay.
in your.
Try not to turn so much.
I know.
Let's see. 15. That's pretty early. That is. There. That's okay.
How about this, Nate? Whoa! It helps to turn on things. You're not gonna do. Oh, the.
Can you imagine if there's a gust of wind with the Torah open?
We can see how it is after the hospital.
And we.
I feel like, yeah, like, this is great. But everything else feels good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. All right, there's a D minor, then a G. Okay.
It's funny. I keep hearing you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. No sound for you.
Got a key.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Hey, everyone gathering here and those gathering at home. We're going to start in about 3 or 4 minutes. Oh, man, that's going to be great. Terrific. Okay, I've got some bar levs. That's fun. Look at that sunshine. Not inside.
What key do you like doing that in, by the way?
Which one?
Not inside.
It's
C minor.
All
Keep
right.
03.
More than a few.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair. Is somebody whistling?
I think we use this.
me. I am.
Oh, what is that noise? That's funny. hear something. All right. Love watching my transcription of what I said.
Good.
All right.
Logan was a little crazy, so I was like, oh, here, I'll let you put this together. He's like, great. If he puts stuff together, it's good. So they like things like that. Yes. Anytime. If you need any help, I'm your person.
We'll just have the beginning here. Oh, sure. Okay.
So if we have it open that way,
Great.
yeah, we'll just go backwards in the Torah till we get to the beginning. All right. We're all to Deuteronomy right now.
Right.
So yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Okay. So we'll start doing hymn verse. Roll the Torah back. So then I'll chant it first, and then we'll go backwards. Or I can just. Well,
yeah, go
no,
ahead.
or I can chant it after we're done rolling, and then you can.
We are windy. Hey.
I got my phone. I have a screenshot of
Okay, where's my thing?
Yeah,
I can grab my
Here's my list.
computer to get it.
Here's my list.
I think that's probably safer. It is.
Okay.
We are modifying our Torah plan as before we get started here because of this wind.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I don't think she should be coming out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We don't want to go flying a kite.
Tearing of the Torah.
Yes. Again.
Don't want to do that again. That's happened before.
Yes, to this one. But I think before we got it, that's the Zanesville Torah.
What's that?
That's the Zanesville Torah.
Oh, it's Zanesville. I thought we had one from Temple Israel.
We have that one too.
We have that one too.
We have a lot of Torahs in this temple right now.
Okay, we are Torah-rific.
We are Torah-rific.
Okay, from that. Are we singing with mask on?
I don't know. Nah.
Gail?
I mean,
Mask? No mask? What are we doing? I wasn't planning. I didn't bring my singer.
Mass B. Maybe ask Rabbi
Are we masking or not masking?
over here.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
That's fine. Don't worry. I'll blow everything.
All right, we got a crew that is forming here. We got a crew that is forming online. You online people are not going to be helpful with holding the Torah, though. But glad you're with us regardless. And we want to say to everyone, Chag Sameach. This is the end of Sukkot. It is a combination holiday called Shmini Atzeret as well as Simchat Torah. We're going to be focusing on the second half of that. That's Simchat Torah this evening. We're so glad to be together, so we're going to begin by singing Hine Ma Tovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is that we are together.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Love the counting.
Tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Well, can I ask any of the kids who are here, anybody know what do we do on Simchat Torah? Anyone have any ideas what we do? I guess it's just primarily my kids. Yeah, Sammy, what do we do? Unroll the Torah. And what do? We do something with the Torah. We finish reading. Anyone know what do we finish reading? You're right, Noah. We start over again. We finish reading the Torah and we start all over again. And we're going to enjoy doing that together. Now, we did have a plan to unroll the whole Torah. It's been a little windy this afternoon, and I'm a little nervous about it. So if we don't unroll it, what we'll do is we'll go through it on these big tables. We'll have it. I'll unroll it, and we'll figure something out that way.
Hold it down tightly.
We'll see. Yeah. But as we begin here, we're going to start in our service by singing "Am I Awake?" Because that's a good question to ask ourselves as we are going to be dealing with the Torah, and it's too windy to light candles. So we're going to turn to that. So we'll ask everyone to please rise. We are on slide number 5. Slide number 5 if you're looking in your packet, or on the screen if you're watching at home. Let's join together.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La 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 la, 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 la 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 la. Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed.
Everybody, let's move it. La 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 la.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Is there a prayer to ask the wind to stop blowing? If so, let's think it as we continue in singing together Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated, and we'll continue with these words, both Shema and Ve'ahavta, which both come from the Torah. We'll see them a little bit later in the service.
Nice teaser.
Yeah.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha u'b'veitecha u'b'leftecha v'derek u'b'shochbecha u'b'kumecha ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
We'll continue with Adonai Siffatai, beginning our standing prayers, our Amidah. So if you are able to rise, you are welcome to stand.
We're on slide 10 there.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'Tedvor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Hastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Mahagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Michayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechakel Hayim B'Chesed, Michayei HaKol Be'rachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim V'Rofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Al Givurot, Umido Melech, Melech Meini, Umechayel, Umatzmiat Yeshua, Ne'emana Talachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikayei HaKol.
Atah kadosh
HaKadosh, V'Kedoshim L'Chol Hallelujah Selah, Baruch atah Adonai HaKadosh.
Amen. You may be seated, everybody. We're going to continue in singing our prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom, as we prepare for the Torah service, with the wind telling us we're not going to unroll the Torah all the way. But we will at least certainly dance around with the Torahs and unroll it a little bit on the table. So let's join together. Mrs. Rose, you lead us.
All right.
Oseh Shalom, Shalom B'Romav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom B'Romav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom B'Romav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru Amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael,
Well, we have. Nathan, there we go. Thank you. We have some really cool ways of celebrating the Torah coming up in our Torah service. What we're going to do is, in a moment, we're all going to stand up and we'll sing the Shema and Echad Eloheinu together. And then we have at least one Torah scroll is out here, and we have stuffed Torahs if you want to dance around with those stuffed Torahs. And what we're going to do is dance around with the Torah for 7 hakafot. Rabbi Apothecary likes to say circumambulations because that's a word that that he enjoys. So we're going to do 7 of those rotations around here, much like you might see 7 circles or 3 and 3 or 3 and a half and 3 and a half at a wedding. And the idea is that we want to wed ourselves to the concepts and values in the Torah. That we want to be the very best version of ourselves that the Torah teaches us to be. So we're going to dance around with it. We've got some beautiful music for that. And then what I think we're going to do, although this has changed in the last 10 minutes, but what I think we're going to do is unroll the Torah. We have it rolled to Deuteronomy. We're going to unroll the Torah and read a little bit of the very end of the Torah and look at some of the Torah as we roll our way back to the beginning of Genesis. And then we'll read that, and that'll be us starting all over again. So we're going to make it work with a modified schedule. There's only so much under our control. The wind is not one of those things. So we'll ask everyone to rise, and we'll sing Shema and Echad. And then do we have someone who wants to volunteer to hold the Torah for the first round, and we'll all follow you along. We have flags. Sammy, I'm going to go for an adult to start out. That's a nice idea. Randy, you want to do it? Okay, great. Thank you.
Rabbi, I need some volunteers too because we're going to two of the songs, Mayim, which there's a dance to, and Hava Nagila, there's a dance to, and Ashlo Shah Devarim, we can make up our own stuff. And if you could come out and dance with me, you can make up your own steps. I would just be so honored.
I think we're just not going to do the hand-holding part of the
no
dances.
hand-holding. Not till after COVID.
Right. Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right. God willing. Let's join together in singing Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema. Leslie's going to go around the circle and give everyone flags. Thank you for doing that, Leslie. And Randy, why don't you come over here? We'll grab the Torah. We can follow along in the circle singing. Ufshafta Maim is our first song.
Shatamayim Besasor Mimanei Yeshua.
Okay.
Shatamayim Besasor Mimanei Yeshua. Mayim, 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 Mayim. Hey Mayim Besasor. Mayim, 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 Mayim. Hey Mayim Besasor. Hey, 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 hey. Mayim, 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 Mayim Besasor. Mayim, 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 Mayim Besasor. Shatamayim Besasor Mimanei Yeshua. Shatamayim Besasor Mimanei Yeshua. Mayim, 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 Mayim. Hey Mayim Besasor. Mayim, 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 Mayim. Hey Mayim Besasor. Hey, 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 hey. Mayim, 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 Mayim Besasor. Mayim, 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 Mayim Besasor. Shatamayim Besasor. Hey Yeshua. Shatamayim Besasor. Mimanei Yeshua. Mayim, 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 Mayim. Hey Mayim Besasor. Mayim, 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 Mayim. Hey Mayim Besasor. Hey, 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 hey. Mayim, 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 Mayim Besasor. Mayim, 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 Mayim Besasor.
I think I hear Hava Nagila coming. I can hear it. I can feel Hava Nagila. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Yisrael. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Yisrael. Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Yisrael. Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Yisrael. Oh, Ru, Ruachim, Ruachim, Lesameach, Ruachim, Lesameach, Ruachim, Lesameach, Ruachim, Lesameach, Ruachim, Ruachim, Lesameach. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Beismecha. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Beismecha. Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Beismecha. Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Hava Nerandana, Beismecha. Oh, Ruachim, Ruachim, B'Lesameach, Ruachim, B'Lesameach, Ruachim, B'Lesameach, Ruachim, B'Lesameach, Ruachim, Ruachim, B'Lesameach. I think I hear also Shadavarim.
Okay.
I think I hear it. I can feel it.
I can feel it.
Oh, I can feel it in my bones.
It's in the air.
See it.
All slow Shah, let's hear it.
Minor.
Let's hear the drums start it.
We're doing C minor, C minor, C minor.
Minor. No, C minor. Go ahead. I'll find it.
Okay. 311. Ready? 311.
Yes.
All
Just
slow
wait.
Shadavarim.
All slow Shadavarim. All slow Shadavarim. Ha'olam, ha'olam, oh-hey.
All slow.
Shadavarim. All slow Shadavarim. All slow Shadavarim. Ha'olam, ha'olam, oh-hey. Al HaTorah, ve'al Avodah, ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Al HaTorah, ve'al Avodah, ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Again. Al Slosa Devarim. Al Slosa Devarim. Al Slosa Devarim. Ha'olam, ha'olam, bo'eh. Al Slosa Devarim. Al-Slosa Devarim, Al-Slosa Devarim, Ha'olam, ha'olam, bo'eh. Al-HaTorah, ve'al Avodah, ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Al-HaTorah, ve'al
devarim, devarim.
Al-Sosha devarim, Al-Sosha, Sosha devarim, Ha'olam, Ha'olam omer. Al-Sosha devarim, Al-Sosha devarim, Al-Sosha, Sosha devarim, Ha'olam,
Ha'olam. And we made it! Woo!
Many years ago, anybody remember, we used to do this from with our sukkah. We used to have a long tables that went out. So we're going to unroll this here, and let's see, could we get a couple of people, maybe another adult to hold on there, or you guys can do that together, yeah. And we're going to unroll it just as the length of the table here, and then we'll roll a little bit more. So you can see this is a beautiful Torah. This is our Zanesville Torah. It came from the Zanesville congregation that closed, and it's on permanent loan to us. And if you haven't seen the Torah close up here, this is the Book of Deuteronomy. This is the end of the Book of Deuteronomy. All of it, yeah, this is not to be touched, kiddos. But it is, unless you see it flying away, then you can absolutely touch it and keep it where it is. And if anybody wants to kind of you can see how if you touch the very, very top, nowhere near the text, but you can see how it feels. This is parchment. This is animal skin that it's printed on. You can see it's got a very different consistency than paper. This Torah is one that we've used a lot because of its size. It's not too big, not too small. It's really, really easy for us to use, especially for this kind of stuff. So normally what we do is we will unroll the whole Torah, and then we'll read from throughout the books. But since we're at the end of the Torah here, I think what we'll probably do, Rabbi, where are you? She's over there. Oh, I've got the yad. Yes, I've got the yad over here. What I think we'll do is we'll read the end of Deuteronomy, and then we'll hit some of the highlights here. Does folks have cards? So we're going to go backwards through the Torah, which is not what we were intending. Yeah, so Marion, you're going to be our first reader. Why don't we go ahead and we'll all do the Torah blessing together, and then we'll point out some things throughout the Torah. So let's start. Rabbi, we'll let you get your spot there, and let's do the blessings together in Hebrew. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach, Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. So we're going to start with the Hebrew, and then we'll go to
Oh, thank you. Velo kam navi od b'Yisrael kemoshe asher yeda'o Adonai panim el panim l'chol ha'ot v'hamoftim asher shalacho Adonai la'asot be'eretz Mitzrayim l'far'o u'l'chol avadav u'l'chol saro Ulchol chayad hachazaka, ulchol hamorah hagadol, asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael.
Beautiful. And we're going to wait to do the Torah blessing after till we get to the beginning of the Torah. So Mary, you want to do it?
I can probably say it
All right,
loud.
you're allowed. Yes.
Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom God singled out face to face for the various signs and portents that God sent him to display in the land of Egypt, against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all Israel.
Beautiful, thank you. So as you can see here, yeah. Okay, great. We'll do that so they can hear online. As you can see here, if you look just at the text itself, I'm going to get down here so you guys can see over me. You can look, this is the very end of the Torah. You can see these columns here. This is called Vizot HaBracha. This is the very, very end of the Torah. Actually, here's a little piece of trivia. This is not usually read during our regular Torah portions on a Shabbat. It's the only Torah portion that's not in that. So the whole book of Deuteronomy is kind of a recapitulation of what happens earlier in some ways, and it's also a reminder to the Israelites of what they're going to do in the wilderness. So you can see there's all kinds of interesting stuff. If maybe we'll roll a little bit so we can get to the so we can see the 10 Commandments. All right, so Jake, why don't you move out of the way there, and Rabbi and Leah will roll that, and we can just kind of we'll kind of give you a little slack here. Okay, keep it going, keep it going. We're going to see if this is going to work or not. So as this is going, when this gets to the middle here, I'll ask you guys to stop for a moment. But right here, you'll see we have the Shema that we read. Why don't you guys pause for 1 second here? You can see, anybody who wants to look over here can see the Shema. You can see it's got the big ayin and the big daled. This is where it comes from right here in the Torah. It says Shema, hi Jakey. It says Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, and then the Ve'ahavta, the first paragraph of the Ve'ahavta that we know, is right after it. And right before this, in this column, anybody know what this section is here? We see a lot of lows. That's usually a good sign. This is the 10 Commandments. Yes, you are right. Whoever said that. This is the Deuteronomy version of the 10 Commandments here, and. Why don't we switch off, Rabbi, and you want to go into Numbers a little bit?
Sure, Numbers is my favorite.
The Queen of Nassau is here.
Yes, Sarah.
Let's roll it a little more here. Here we go.
Excellent. All right, let's roll it a little bit. This is fun. We're literally rolling it back. All right. Okay, great. And here we come to the end of Numbers and the beginning of Deuteronomy. Oop. Perfect. That's just good.
So you want to just say about the gap there?
Yeah, so you everyone can see that we've got several kind of like line breaks here. Instead of like different paragraphs, we've got a big gap in here. And so the rabbis looked at that and said, well, there's a big gap here, so we're going to end one book and start the other. So if you're ever looking through a Torah scroll and you're not sure where you are and you see one of these big gaps, you know that you've crossed a book here. So would anyone like to read? Let's see, how do I want to do this?
We should have 7 for the beginning of Deuteronomy and then the end of Numbers.
These are the words that Moses addressed to all Israel on the other side of the Jordan.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. So as we talked about, this is Moses' swan song as they're about to enter the land of Israel. Okay, and has anyone got the end of Numbers?
You want to hear that? These are the commandments and regulations that God enjoined upon the Israelites through Moses on the steps of Moab at the Jordan near Jericho.
Fabulous. Thank you. All right, so we are now in the Book of Numbers. Very exciting book. That was a joke. It's very boring. There's some fun things that happen in here, but it's fine. There's a lot of laws, but there's some fun things that happen as they're wandering through the wilderness, coming up to the end of those last 40 years. All right, let's see.
Let's go to the beginning near the beginning of Numbers.
Awesome. I am seeing here we've got Balak and Balaam. Balaam is the non-Israelite prophet who says Ma Tovu. So if you like that Ma Tovu song at the beginning of services, that's in there somewhere. Yes, Talking Donkeys. If you're a fan of Shrek, you're going to love Balaam, that's for sure. All right, and here we've got our holiness code. If anyone wants to take a look at these backward letter nuns, they signify that we've got that going on. Let's see. Yes. And while we've got all these normal kind of looking paragraph breaks here, right here, we'll maybe roll just a little bit more. It kind of has like this open C shape. This part right here is Birkat Kohanim, the blessings of the high priests. So this is from Parshat Naso, and it's the priestly blessing that we bestow upon B'nai Mitzvah students and wedding couples during all special times of our lives.
We have a volunteer who wants
Sarah, amazing.
Does she still have it from her bat mitzvah many years ago?
So here's where Yivarechacha is right there.
Okay, we have Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom, V'shamu et shmi al b'nei Yisrael v'ani avarchem.
It's still in there.
Amazing. Yasher Koach, Sarah. It's so beautiful.
I saw Arthur doing this, and that is
Yes.
the sign of the Kohen for a priestly benediction. Is the shin, yeah. And this is a blessing, particular way you can hold your hands to offer a blessing to folks. Offer this particular blessing if you are a Kohen. We got some Kohens around here. I saw at least Jonathan Kohen.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right, and Arthur too.
Yes, and then Leonard Nimoy, who's Jewish, borrowed it for Star Trek. So, but it was ours first.
Leonard Nimoy,
Yes. All right. Do you wanna
Sure.
take over? Great.
So we're nearing the beginning of the Book of Numbers. We're flying through the Torah here. You guys want to do a little more rolling over on that side? Yes. Why don't you read the end? Let's read the beginning of Numbers and then the end of Leviticus.
On the first day of the second month in the second year following the exodus from Egypt, God spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tent of meeting, saying,
It's a cliffhanger. You'll have to tune in during services to find out what actually happens there. All right, and let's go to the very end of the book of Leviticus. All right.
These are the commandments that God gave to Moses for the Israelite people on Mount Sinai.
Yes, and which is a great summary sentence of the book of Leviticus, which is a collection of priestly laws. Basically, a lot had to do with the sacrificial cult that we no longer have, of course, because we don't sacrifice in Judaism. But there are a lot of really interesting and important laws that come from the book of Leviticus. There's also a lot of troubling stuff, a lot of stuff that we have to kind of deal with as modern Jews. But it's here for us to grapple with. So that's I think, a beautiful thing that we can still contend with. So let's keep on rolling here, rollers. You guys are doing great. And I'll see if there's anything interesting worthy of us stopping here. You can see we have a section here of blessings and curses. There are twice as many curses as there are blessings. So watch out. Don't break God's commandments. And pause for 1 second, because I think we should be close here. So we have, in the very middle, we have what's called the Holiness Code. And that is where God says that we should be holy because we want to be like God and because God is holy. And keep going. I think we're not quite there yet. I'll identify that when we see it, although there's nothing really special to see there. It's just more text. So let's keep on going. Hold on here. We're doing great. And we have reached the beginning of Vayikra. And, okay, hold on 1 second there. So let's, who has the beginning of Leviticus?
I do.
All right.
God called Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying...
Oh, what was God saying? All right, and then how about the end of Exodus? Who's got that? Okay.
I'll let you hold it. For over the tabernacle a cloud of the eternal rested by day, and fire would appear in it by night, in the view of the house of Israel throughout their journeys.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. By the way, everyone, just make sure that you take a look at these beautiful clouds that I'm looking at. I mean, how cool is it that we get to have the Torah outside in this beautiful natural place? I think it is really, really nice. So here we are at the end of the book of Exodus. Exodus is maybe the most famous of all the books. It has the most narrative adventure in it. The first part of Exodus, at least, is the big kind of blockbuster story, and it has actually a special trope with it. So let's keep on rolling. You guys doing okay over there? If you want to try to go back in that direction so everyone can see a little more. All right. You are doing great. Oh, it looks like this is from Caitlin's bat mitzvah. This is what we call a holy Post-it note. From Caitlin. Yes. Okay. Well, that already happened. That's true. That's Kitisa. That is right. So we have the golden calf story. That's great. Let's keep on going here because what I want to get to is we'll look at the Ten Commandments another time, and then the Shirat Hayam, which is a really cool thing to see. All right. Sure. I love doing that special trope. So right here you can see the Ten Commandments again. If you enjoyed them in Deuteronomy, you'll love them in Exodus. Here they are again. You can see that they start right here's remember Shabbat and I am Adonai your God, and all the don'ts that make up 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this is called Parshat Yitro. This is the beginning of the Israelites forming as a people after they crossed the sea. Remember, we're going in rewind here. So now let's see the Israelites crossing the sea. Can we roll it just a little touch more? And you can see this is, I think, one of the most beautiful sections. It's also one of the oldest sections in the Torah. This is the oldest poetry we have in the Torah. And this is called the Song of the Sea. And sorry if I'm in any of its way. It's called Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea. And I like to think that, it's not like a rabbinic thing, but I think that this kind of looks like the waves of the sea. If you look at it, you can see like the sea parting, and this being the central part here, and the either side of the sea. And it's really beautiful. The content of it is maybe not quite as beautiful. There's a lot of war imagery. Remember, the Israelites were about to kind of gear up for a bunch of battles. Jake, you'll like this. A bunch of battles. But there is some nice stuff in here. And so why don't I do a little bit of this trope? By the way, just real quickly, so any regular trope here kind of sounds like Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. But here, it has a whole different sound to it. Let's see if we can find a good spot. Let's see. Ashir el Adonai ki ga'oga sus v'roch vo rama vayam ozi v'zimrad ya vayihili lishua ze'eli v'anvehu Elohei aviv v'romamenhu Adonai ish milchama Adonai shamo. And then it goes back into the regular trope. What happens is whenever there's a sentence that has God's name in it, it goes to the special trope in this section. If it doesn't have God's name in it, it goes merchvo paro v'yachalom. So if we go down here, there's a special line. Do you guys remember this one? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nadar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele. That is the Michamocha prayer. You might not recognize it, but it's one that we sing. Usually we sing Michamocha ba'elim Adonai. All right. Anybody else want to say anything about Exodus? Rabbi, anything we missed in Exodus? I see you have a stink bug crawling on you.
Well, speaking of that, we've got some plagues.
Oh, yes. That is great to mention. They're coming up next. Here. Let me trade with you. Let me trade with you. You can.
I love bugs, but not yeah, seriously. Oh, thank you. All right. Yes, we've got this beautiful section here, like we just sang. Right after it is Miriam dancing with the women. Also, right before that, Miriam the prophetess. All right. So we can roll back a little bit. And this here we have the actual Exodus, the Israelites escaping Egypt in the middle of the night. We're probably going back. Can anyone do the plagues in backwards order? We got death of the firstborn. We got darkness. We got locusts. I think there's some hail involved. Some beasts don't have a great time. All the way. No, they're not. They get pretty sick. And then we go all the way back to all that blood. And then right in here, you'll start to see Moses' name. We've got the burning bush happening around here. And then all the way back to Moses being a baby and being rescued by his mother and his sister and Pharaoh's daughter. So now here we are back at the end of Genesis and the beginning of Exodus. So does anyone have the beginning?
Another big
and
place.
No, yeah. Yes, and you're absolutely right, Arthur. We have another big break here. So we've got the end of a book. So does anyone have the beginning of Exodus? Oh, Meredith.
The beginning of Exodus. These are the names of the children of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob, each coming with his household.
Awesome. So Exodus in Hebrew is Shemot, names. Excellent. So we've got all of the Israelites heading down to Egypt, and as you know, things aren't so great for a few centuries. And does anyone have the end of Exodus? Or sorry, end of Genesis.
Joseph died at the age of 110 years, and he was embalmed and placed in a coffin in Egypt.
Thank you very much. Yes, very exciting. And it takes a very, very long time, but eventually Joseph's remains come back to the land of Israel. So that is kind of setting up a very long foreshadowing, I believe, in Joshua, actually, after the end of the Torah. Yes. All right. So now we've got the end of Exodus. And so now we're beginning our matriarchs and our patriarchs, this fun family drama. And so here we've got, like we read, the death of Joseph. So how about if we start scrolling a little bit?
Yeah, the Joseph story is one of the biggest page turners that we have
yes.
in the Torah. I mean, And thank you to Andrew Lloyd Webber. We all know it very well. But it is, and it's also a really long story.
It's very long.
Yeah, it is like 7 or 8 chapters.
Yes. And we've also got, I see here, another Post-it note. This one doesn't have a name on it.
That's just a section to watch for.
Yes, Vayesha, very exciting. And I actually saw down here, here's me, Kate, very nice. So down here we've got Yehuda, one of the 12 tribes and one of Joseph's brothers. He's the one who takes responsibility for what happened to Joseph being enslaved in Egypt and all of that. And he says, I'm the one who caused this. I need to cause forgiveness. And I just want to mention this because Judaism is named after Judah. Yehudim is Jews in Hebrew. So that's kind of also just a nice little shout out. He's a good one. Nice after we coming out of the end of the high holidays with forgiveness and atonement and all that good stuff. Great. So here Joseph is in Egypt, and we've got Pharaoh having some dreams. That's very exciting. Let's see. Here's Jacob. So his dad Jacob. Let's see. Joseph also has that dream coat, Technicolor dream coat. There it is, right in here. Very exciting. All right, let's keep going a little bit. Anyone know who comes before Joseph? Who are his parents? Jacob. Yeah, absolutely. We got Jacob and Rachel, and Jacob also had let's see, there's also Leah and all these other friends. Here's Rebecca. Rabbi, do you want to take over for me? We're entering into dangerous territory.
You know, Jacob had a lot of friends, quote. Yes, he did. He had Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, and Zilpah. He was a busy guy. Right here we have one of the most famous sections, and this is the binding of Isaac, which is such a tough section for us to read about Moses almost sacrificing his only child, and we read it on the high holidays. Say it again.
Abraham.
Oh, what did I say? Moses probably wanted to do it too sometimes. But yes, this is Abraham almost sacrificing Isaac. And just if you wanted to hear a little bit of this. Vayehi achar hadavarim ha'elev ha'elohim nisa et Avraham vayomer elav Avraham vayomer hineni. And this is God calling out to Moses again. God calling out to Abraham, and Abraham says, "Hineni, here I am. What do you need from me, God?" And then it all unfolds from there at the beginning of the story. So let's keep on rolling here. We're getting close to the beginning of the book of Genesis. Before Abraham, Abraham is regarded as the forefather. Abraham and Sarah are matriarchs, but there are actually people in the Genesis narrative before them, and that is Noah and Lot. And we are getting close to some of the. Not yet. We're still in. Here we are. So right here we are in. There are actually multiple creation stories in the book of Genesis. We have the original one, and then we have another creation story that goes day by day, and tells us what God created on different days. A lot of folks wonder how could creation have happened in a week, and the way that I like to think about it is that we don't know what time was like, and that a week could actually have been millions and millions and millions of years to form the earth as we know it today.
I like to think of it as like a highlight reel.
Or a highlight reel. I like that also.
They just show you the touchdown.
Yes. People evolved. Here's the highlights. Here's the highlights of humanity. All right, let's go back to the very beginning. And I think there it is right there. And do we have a reader in English for the last one? I think she's got the card. Oh, okay. All right.
The beginning of Genesis, when God began to create the heavens and earth.
Beautiful. All right.
So that's how we know how important baseball is.
Tell us what you mean.
In the big inning.
In the big inning, Arthur. That's a groaner. We like it. That's a dad joke right there. All right. So I'm gonna chant from the beginning. Yes. I'm not sure where Mom is, but hang out with me. I'm gonna chant from the very beginning of the Torah, and then we'll do our blessing after. Bereshit. This is the first day of creation. Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz ve'ha'aretz hayata tova vohu ve'hoshech al panei tahom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al panei hamayim Vayomer Elohim Yihi Or Vayhi Or. Vayar Elohim et Haor Kitov. Vayavdel Elohim ben Haor uvein Hahoshech. Vayikra Elohim Laor Vayom Velachoshech Kara Laila. Vahi Erev Vahi Voker Yom Echad. And let's do the blessing after together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet. Sorry. Olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful sky.
Or Jacob.
Oh, he's got the other Torah. All right, everyone. So let's sing together Vizot HaTorah, and then band, are we ready for Tree of Life as we put the Torah away and close up our service here? So very cool. We didn't get to unroll the whole thing in a giant circle, but at least we got to see the entire Torah scroll. So let's sing Vizot HaTorah.
Vizot HaTorah asher HaMoshe B'nei Yisrael Hapi Adonai Be'ar Moshe. Yai lai 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 lai. Yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai 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 la la lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai lai la lai, yalla lai 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 yalla lai.
Tree of Life. We can go back to our spots just for a few moments.
Shalom, 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 shalom. It's a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is the tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Here comes the Hebrew.
It's Chaim Lilem Magazikim Tom Hecha Meushar. It's Chaim Lilem Magazikim Tom Hecha Meushar. Shalom, 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 shalom,
That was a big finish there. I like it. We're going to ask everyone to rise as we do Aleinu and Kaddish, and then we'll prepare for our closing song. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, v'teit gedulah yotzer b'reshit, shelo asan k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtagavim u'modim, Liftei melech, malchei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu, bayom hahu, Adonai echad, u'shemo, echad.
We now, of course, pause and take a moment for memory as we prepare for Kadishat home for Mourner's Kaddish. I'd like to ask if there's anyone who is remembering someone, either observing Shloshim or Yartzeit, or they just happen to be in your heart this evening. You are welcome to say their name. For all those who have no one left to say Kaddish for them, and for all those who have been a blessing to humanity, we'll recite together. We're on slide 25. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated.
So our closing song is going to be Am Yisrael Chai, and I think it's a beautiful idea to sing this song. It means the people of Israel shall live, the Jewish people shall survive, and I love to think about the way that people have celebrated Simchat Torah throughout the years, in times under duress, perhaps, and. Here are we during the middle of a pandemic, able to find a way to safely gather together and enjoy the beautiful words of our Torah. And what better way to say Am Yisrael Chai, that the nation of Israel shall continue under every circumstance. Let's join together in singing.
Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. O Ravinu Chai, O Ravinu Chai. O Ravinu, O Ravinu, O Ravinu Chai. O Ravinu Chai, O Ravinu Chai. O Ravinu, O Ravinu, O Ravinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. O Ravinu Chai, O Ravinu Chai. O Ravinu, O Ravinu, O Ravinu Chai. O Ravinu Chai, O Ravinu Chai. O Ravinu, O Ravinu, O Ravinu Chai.
We want to wish everyone a Chag Sameach, a happy and healthy Simchat Torah, and may this year 5782 be a year of blessing for all those gathered here and all those throughout the world, and may it be a year of health.
Amen.
Say to that, Amen.
Amen.
See you, everyone. See you soon. Shalom.
Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Oh, we have dessert. It's just cookies. Don't get too excited. But Leslie is going to be serving that over there. So she's got tongs. She'll safely hand it to you, and we'll go from there. Chag Sameach, everyone.